Now we are going to see how we can use the EasyNAM client to get the IDP monitoring information. So for that, you have to go to Administration, API, select the IDP monitoring. Once you select this IDP monitoring, you can go to the different option here and press a get. But the we have provided in with the NAM to access the IDP monitoring or AG monitoring REST endpoint. You cannot use any client. You need to have a specific client, and that client IP need to be configured at the IDP. If you will not do that, in that case, if you press the get, you will get the status forbidden. So you have to take the IP address of this and configure in the IDP as well as at the AG. To configure this in the IDP, what you have to do, you have to first take the IDP, take the IP address of the client and go to IDP server and go to so this is the file in the webin IDP monitor.txt, and you have to give the IP address of your client, and then you need to reinstall the IDP server. Wait for IDP server to fully initialize. Okay, now the IDP is fully initialized, so I can go here. IDP server information you have to add, and then you can, when you press the get, you will get the XML values. So apart from the other REST endpoint which is providing the JSON data, these two, IDP monitoring and AG monitoring, provide the XML data. So you can see this XML information here, which talks about how many HTTP in requests is served by the IDP server right now. You have the different kind of REST endpoint which you can use to see the different thing. This is the LDAP server configuration. You can use the LDAP connections, connection weights, LDAP replica statistics. Okay, so this is how you can go through the different REST endpoint provided by NAM for IDP uh, or you can say the IDP component as statistics. Similarly, you can work with the AG monitoring. So for AG monitoring, what you have to do, you have to select the AG monitoring here, and then you have to enter the AG server ESP domain address. So if you see this is the ESP domain for my access gateway. Uh, to check what is the ESP domain for your access gateway, you have to go to access gateway, click on the reverse proxy / authentication, and here embedded service provider section, you can see this. This is the one which we need to configure there. Once you configure there, you have to click on all AG stats and click on the get, and it says that you don't have permission to access the requested object. So this is similar to the previous with the IDP. You you need to you need to configure the IP address of the client in access gateway. So to configure the IP address of the client, you need to go to admin console and access gateway and go to the advanced option, and there you need to add an advanced option called NAG stats client IP whitelist, and here you can give the IP address of your client. Update the server. Once server is updated, you can do a get, and you can see the value. So this is give the AG component statistics. There is one another option is added which says the AG server status. So this option you can use to get the Apache HTTPD server status, which runs as a web server on or acts as a proxy server on the access gateway system. So to use this, you need to do a special configuration, and that configuration is you need to create a proxy service which is listening on loopback 127.0.0.0.1 and 81.81 port, and you it's good if you protect that with some contract. You should not give the option for everyone to use that, and this is basically only for the to only for the testing purpose. You can execute the same command, the same thing on the system itself. Oh, this is IDP, sorry. So you can configure the same thing. You can just execute this particular command uh, on your AG server to get the statistics, or you can configure a protected resource like that and protect it with some contract so that it will be not a public URL and anyone can use it. and select the AG server status. Click on the get. It will open a new window here, which will ask for the user and password. And then here you can see the server statistics. So this server stats gives a lot of information about the Apache, which is running on the access gateway as a proxy server. It talks about how many threads are currently receiving the request, how many threads are in waiting, how many closing connection, how many is the gracefully finishing, how many are in the cleanup. It also shows the all the requests which is currently served and different configuration which is present on the system. So yeah, this is very important uh, command, but you can, if you don't want to use using a browser, you can just execute this command on the system and you can get this out.